Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we are here taking a look at some Korean dance in affiliation with Stage Fighter. I'm excited for this. I've had such a blast looking at the ballet portion, and I know the episode with English subs are coming out tomorrow for me for episode 2. So I'm intrigued on what these excerpts that Choom released are going to be involving. We're going to be looking at, I believe it's around 4 Korean dance affiliated clips based on the translation, self-choreography of some kind. So my assumption going in is it's going to be each individual that we look at is going to have choreography that they created onto a track that is affiliated with Mnet, but also in correspondence to the Korean dance portion of the show. So I think without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive in and see what we got. I'm gonna have a freaking blast, I'm telling you right now. Okay, so this is a bit of a spoiler too, because they don't have the auditions of the combos that I know that they are going to be learning. They don't have uncuts of those released yet like they did for ballet. So yes, this is a spoiler. It doesn't surprise me. Based on context of what I know so far, I know he is considered one of the top to be considered in the show, so it doesn't shock me at all. Now, and also I'm a layman when it comes to Korean dance. I kind of understand general form, but the logistics on terminology, vocabulary, posture, and the difference between elementary to elite is going to be something I'm excited to learn about as an educator in different fields within this show. So we're just going to kind of do an overview, look at the other choreographic toolkits that we're going to kind of cover, you know, of how we feel with this. So it's Che Hong Jung. So I can see that this type of track honestly is more like Korean influence, but it sounds like a K-pop track, which in my case, I personally don't mind seeing a more traditional style onto a hybrid track, especially if I know that whoever's doing it has a really nice awareness of the style that they're showcasing. It's the equivalence of seeing somebody who's dancing on a more contemporary track, but they're doing boogaloo fundamentals. For me, because I understand the practitioner, I'm able to appreciate what kind of hybrids and their sense of maturity as an artist comes across. So it doesn't bother me with the type of track it is. I know they're trying to appeal to the masses and stuff, which is whatever, but this is cool. I mean, in general, and I can tell based on his form of his hand, I'm assuming this carries a sense of breath or some particular dynamic that is used heavily within Korean dance. God, when I say I'm so excited to learn more terminology about it, you have no idea. I'm going to be sitting here like a teacher's pet on this mess. Can't wait. But the form, it's fine. I would say in general, it does give the impression it feels like he's kind of marking. I mean, it could just be because I'm used to seeing a more full, like more fullness in choices and some highs and lows of how we choose to showcase breath or poise and posture, right? But I would say his posture's freaking sick. Who am I, you know, really to say he has an off posture? It does look a bit muted, personally for me, when it comes to what kind of movement quality he's doing to the loudness of the track that we're given. The hit through, I like that. Going through, back. Yeah, I love that, where he drops it down. There are some moments we could choose to potentially syncopate through the influence of our fundamentals, our Korean dance fundamentals into the track. I don't feel like we're taking as much advantage on it on a musicality front, and I am very sensitive to music in how our movement complements it. This is, like I said, a hybrid track, so you would have to think about making some concessions, but based on, like I had mentioned, the maturity of the movement that you showcase as an artist, that can help kind of marry the two together. It would be my goal. And I don't know as much. I know he's more of a performer, and being a performer is low-key a different skill set than being a choreographer. So we have to keep that in mind, that I don't know if he is known for choreography as much as he is for his stage presence and quality of movement. And I think that's absolutely fine. I don't mind this per se, but I don't, like, it definitely, like that right there with this little, I mean, what we would call that with a pointed foot would be an envelope, right? But that's in ballet in a completely different field, different video. But I love, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to learn what these things are called. Ah! Down, up. Yep, yeah, I like how we hit that on the end. That's fun, we're cool. I mean, I'm excited. We got a couple more, of course, we're gonna look at right here, see what we got going on. Now, I don't know who they pick. Kim Mi Sok B. Ooh, I love that little embellishment on the end. Okay, I would give him similar notes that I would give my first guy, if I'm being honest. I mean, but is there wordplay that could be involved in this? Absolutely. I'm not fluent in Korean. I got as much Korean in me to be able to know where the bathroom is and how to order my food so I can survive. But I would love to be able to have a more conversational presence on the Korean side, but that'll take more time. The switch up over there, I think that's fine. Rotation around. I like the da-da-da-da-da. Are we trying to hit that sound? Yeah, I think that's what he was going for there, which... Yeah, so I feel like I can pinpoint some elements that he's trying to go for to hit you through pitch or certain sounds in the track, which is nice. But it does also feel like we're, well, no, if I watch me say that and I'm completely out of pocket for it, it does feel like we're kind of navigating a particular degree of dynamic, and there's not a huge contrast in texture and dynamic that could be utilized for a track like this. But once again, you're asking people who specialize in Korean dance that is more classical to the culture that we're watching, right? But but this type of track is modernized and westernized, you know. That's what I find interesting in this. It does have a hybrid of certain tonal colors that overlap with the culture of Korea, but I mean the structure of the track is very, is very mainstream, which has a huge western influence on it. So the part did look like he forgot something, or just based on the presence, it didn't feel clear and intentional with the not aggressiveness, but the fullness of the sound that we're hearing. So that would be like my overview there. But I love the breath that we're seeing and the breathability of it. That's honestly, like, real talk, the reason why I'm so fascinated by Korean dance and chinoserie and the China classical folk styles is simply because for me as a waver, I find so much joy in that degree of exploration, and I love the heritage and the cultural, just the cultural awareness that comes with these genres, because it is not, in my neck of the woods, I don't quite have that. So it's really fascinating to me, and I see a beautiful marriage of a lot of waving fundamentals integrated throughout this organically. And so for me, I truly want to be a student of the Korean dance scene at some point in time. I literally may make a whole trip out of it. We'll see. Y'all can come join me if that is in fact the case. But gosh, I love the fact that we have the privilege of learning about it in this way. Little heel toe was fun. We're not really recognizing the pitch progression that we're hearing, and that would have been a really nice thing to see. I'm gonna go like, yeah, boom, and I don't know if the audio overlay was matching what he was doing, not quite sure. But it does feel like this one also had a bit of a muted, marked vibe about it, but also I have no idea when these were shot. I'm assuming after the auditions, and then they had to create something. Who knows what the timeline was on it? I mean, of course I would feel like our judges would, but okay, next one. What do we have here? Jo Tae-yoon. Okay. we just break in, the sound just drops out. Okay, this one I feel like has the most dynamics so far that kind of create this nice ebb and flow in choreography, that would appeal to a sense of group or just overall digestibility and captivation. So remember, I'm not sitting here saying that what they're doing is not Korean dance. Quite the opposite. I feel like they're more practitioners of it than I. And this type of track, like I said, is hybrid. And we have to keep in mind that just like in ballet and contemporary, that I have way more knowledge about as an educator and a practitioner and somebody who teaches actively dancers in those disciplines. I would extend the same courtesy here with Korean dance. These styles are being like packaged in a way for the general public. A lot of people who may not be aware, or people who have had experience but maybe not on a professional level or on a scale quite like this. And so not only do we want to showcase the true aesthetic of the genre in a way that's respectable and authentic and genuine, but you also want it to be where it's digestible for your public. And so part of that does come with this. That's the beauty and kind of a skill set I would assume is going to be a factor into the choreography, is it needs to be something that showcases the beauty of the style but also integrates well onto a track that was created with the public in mind, right? So I would say with this one, you have your usage of the floor. You have a lot of your breath, your poise, your posture in play. All of this here, da 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 da. And I like these little extra. You notice there's like these little smidgen of these boogaloo fundamentals that we're kind of seeing integrated here texturally, with a lot of these extra reverbs or these punctuated moments here. Really fun. I love this little detail he added in the hands. It's so fun. And then it goes registering these stops. And I like the push there, boom, boom, catching the bases. I feel like he's exploring more polyrhythmically into the track, more so than I noticed with my first two. It could be because he's going more full out on it. I don't quite know. But the structure of it's more visually pleasing to me as a layman. So we're going to go off of that. I love that, the reset. I love the drop in level on that was nice. The moment there, and notice he hits, boom, right there on that bass. We hear really nice punctuation on the tail end of that. He stops and interrupts the flow of the rotation. That's super fun. The turn was nice. That is cool. Still have a lot of these ebbs and flows, and these speed changes too are really nice on this. And you can see he's utilizing more spacing and staging. The turn is fun. I love that little extra breath on that's fun. Drop down up, little moment there, boom, drop, cool. High, low, and then he uses the floor. I definitely commend him for, in such a short amount of time in our choreography that he's showcasing, we have that privilege there with the leap, with the lower level represented. The turn is fun. He goes boom, love that. Comes up that that. I feel like we're at least entertaining that sound, and go up, and the turn's fun. Yeah, boom, love that. Yeah, and a lot of them are ending like in this corner, which I don't mind. That's fun. So I can see, I love it. Just okay, we're done. God, I love moments like that. They're so real for that. And then I think we have, yeah, we have quite a few more actually, which does not bother me whatsoever. Oh man, we get so many of these. But yeah, I really like that third one. Okay, his gave more street than most of the other guys, which to me would be, because we're doing Korean dance, I personally really would, which is very interesting coming from me, I would prefer to see Korean dance as that heavy representative style with other elements like the one we just watched presented. Now, do I wish we had a little bit more polyrhythmic exploration? Yes, but I mean, for me, I see what we're going for here, but I don't quite know if this one feels that degree of feeling the presence and of our Korean dance within the track, because the track is already entertaining a hybrid, so we want to at least involve and keep the integrity of it to some extent. His choice, I like the fullness of that. We do a nice little interruption, boom, boom, switching it over. It just feels like we have a lot of boom, boom, more more animation posture, not Korean dance posture, which once again, I mean, that's, if I don't know what our adjudicators are looking for, and that's fine. I'm sitting here and they're there. We're here for it. Love it. The swing is fine. Boom, boom. I don't know how much wordplay we're going into this. Do we have? We don't. It is what it is. But, and we have a little shoulder. That was a triple, but we only did a ball change. So there's like little moments where I see what we're trying to go to recognize the beat, but we're not fully committing to the actual syncopation of the sound that we're trying to justify. So that would be my big note on this one I'm noticing. The reach is fine. Even there, I see the reach here, but what happens once we take this energy we've reached out to our mouth? I don't quite see how this connects to the body roll. Normally, you would see people let the head begin into this body roll with the pickups like that. Honestly, this feels more contemporary than it does Korean dance based on context of what I've been exposed to in the scene. I'm not saying he doesn't have that influence, but I see it's very fused to where it's kind of equal responsibility versus heavy Korean dance with embellishments of other styles. I think that's kind of what my preference is going to be looking at these if I were in the room as that layman vote, if that makes sense. The general public vote. Yeah, boom, da da da, little ball changes. I like that we have that with a little extra weightiness. I love that choice. The turn is fun. And then he takes it. I love that little reach. Suspension is fun. Drops down. The roll on the floor. That was giving a little Martha Graham, didn't it? Once again, that was more modern, right? But yeah, that definitely feels more contemporary in our structure, which I feel like is the wrong style that we have shown here. But that's whatever. Little ball changes are fine. He does choose to use the ball change to hit those bases in the back, and I like the posture at the end. The pose at the end is cool. Could I see them going with that? I don't quite know. You know, that's fine. I still have my preference on being the that third one we looked at for sure. Okay, we have two more. This is our second to last one. Here we go. Kim Shi-won. Ooh. Okay, if it was a different song, I would be all about that. I think to me, like I said, please keep in mind, definitely a music head in terms of musicality is a really big priority for me as a choreographer. So I'm naturally going to project that as an expectation to any choreography I look at, regardless of the style. So for me, I love the flow of this so much. Definitely top 3 in preference on just movement quality. Incredible. So fun to see in the structure of it. But to the track, I don't know if it's quite the right fit for me personally, because like I said, very hybrid, and I feel like we have some of our, like this push right here, I feel like we use that to introduce this new shift into the track, which is really nice. Da-da. Cool. The turn is nice, and we twinkle it in, and then it goes and blows. So I love the attention to the details with our fingers. It's really fun to see explored. The levels are nice. It grabs forward, do, bang, bang. Bring it through, and then the slide through. I love these transitions. They're really nice, but because they have such heavy staccato accents in play, I feel like we're not utilizing our track to our advantage and showcasing these dynamics in, like, the track exists for a reason. And if this is the song that we're ending up having to dance to because we don't have the performance clip yet, and there's a chance, I mean, I know that we have a ballet equivalence of this for Swan. I wonder if someone's choreography is going to get selected out of the first people, right? I don't know though. I mean, I'll learn that in the episode, but if you want to spoil it for me, that's totally fine too. But I kind of feel that if this is choreo that's going to be put into the concept shoot, we have to factor how it's going to read. You know, we don't want the music to just kind of be there as background, or just don't have it, if I'm being honest. Like, that's just for concept shoot, the music matters a lot. Yeah, I love that little extra, the letter oomph to that. Now, note for like ballet, we call it like your arms, call it your port de bras and your allongé, right? But that's not what they're doing here. That's not what the terms are. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to learn these words. So fun. I love that right there, the momentum on this. Gosh, that's so fun. I love the fullness of that. Turn it up, boom. Cool. I would say this like ending. Yeah, it was just this push and pull. Like I could feel that. Ah, like I think this, I can get on board with that. That was cool. Gonna go like, yeah, boom. Yeah, I think that's my thing. If they pick this, I mean, cool, more power to them. But I don't quite feel like rested in the track for this choreo in particular, but I love certain elements on it and how he chose to place them. Like those were very fun to me, and I had so much fun looking at it. But in the context of what the show is, and thinking that the song does in fact matter a lot more than just background music, I do wish that we integrated a little bit more staccato elements, more sharper elements, or the contrast was fine in terms of the levels and the fullness of movement, but not restricting, but we had a lot of breath and a lot of this element about it, which I love. Melting over here. But having a sense of force and power that allows there to be a sense of like opposition in our stops, if that makes sense. So that would be like my one note on this one. But at the end of the day, they don't have to listen to me at all. It doesn't matter. Okay. Finally, this is our last one based on the Choom list. Kim Hyo-jun. Wow. Okay then. Goodness gracious. There are certain moments that he hit on this and I'm like, yes to that, as you noticed. Okay. So he sets it nice. He lifts it. I love this rotate. Like, God, come on, guys. Like, this stuff is sick. I love looking at movement quality, especially stuff that I'm just, like, wanting to be a sponge about, and I just haven't been able to find nearly as much information, and this show is going to give me the details. Cannot wait. I love these choices and how he's choosing to let sometimes his elbow lead, sometimes his forearm leads. It's so fascinating. And I love that where he throws it and it causes this to come up. Goodness, is cool. And then boom, boom, boom. Definitely we're adding some like some street dance influence on those choices. The isolation on that was cool. Yeah, boom, boom, cool. Yeah, boom, do. Now it's interesting we didn't go on the do. It feels like we kind of are just like passing by some really cool elements of the track. So that's just more of a personal note. That bang bang. I think it was. I love that, where this turn on the bang bang, like we recognize that part of the track, which I love that. Swinging it down, which is cool. Boom. Yeah. So we're using a lot of our choices here. Now, is that part of the influence of style he gleaned from? Possibly, because I do know with Korean dance there are different facets of traditional dances depending on what you're celebrating, what you're recognizing, what kind of rituals, those types of things. And so I don't, like with each member, I don't quite know which ones have that, if it's like very like heavily inspired by a particular niche of a traditional ritual based dance, or if it's just freedom of movement based on context of what their body's exposed to. It could be either. And for me, I don't mind any of those choices, and that's absolutely fine. So for me, it does feel like we're catering a lot of our information or justification in our upper body, which I, once again, don't mind. It's a preference note that I'm seeing here. Yeah, boom, doom, doom. I feel like he is listening to the music probably the closest out of most that we've seen. The turn is fine. This right here, boom, the turn into the, I love that. Yeah, and he goes and he lifts it. Cool. So for me, honestly, I would low-key hybrid these personally. I mean, I think I liked my third guy, this one a lot. I think this one is... I think this one has just the right amount of, I hear him listening to the music and he's keeping it very on brand for the style that he's representing. I think this one would be my personal winner out of them all. But if I'm being honest, I really like some of the elements of this last one, especially on this turning head thing. That was cool. Let's take a second to appreciate that again. This part. Come on, kill that. Yeah. Oh my god, I love that. And I don't know what they call this move right here. Boom, that. Oh my god. Oh, I love it. It's just so, when you watch men dance, I'm just gonna call it what it is, as a woman, I love watching men do such majestic height based things, like when they jump or when they do it's not an aerial, that's not what that is at all, but like when you see men, the type of leaps that they can do and the power and the height is just so commendable. And I'm such an admirer of it as somebody who has been a practitioner of it, not to that height, but definitely enough to understand the power that is required to get some of those things to look so seamless. Oh, it's so fun. So I would say like my top two, I really liked a lot of these elements, but I think number 3 is going to be my layman vote out of all of the ones that we've had the privilege of watching here. Does my vote matter? Absolutely not. I think we're here as just commentator and good vibes. I don't think I can contribute nearly as much to this as I could in ballet contemporary, nor like if I'm looking at popping, right? But I think I'm having so much fun just looking at the different areas of this show. And so far, I mean, I'll have to look at the second episode to really validate this. So far, I'm loving the format and who they have adjudicating this. It feels like we're really respecting the styles in this lens, and it makes me so excited to continue to be a part in this way. Oh, this is so fun. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. So like I've been mentioning, I am actively watching Stage Fighter and taking a look at all of the full cam based material that they have shown on the Choom every week and diving into the episodes the day after. And so I want to hear from you, especially if you're somebody who's watching the show alongside me, or if you are somebody who is a practitioner of this craft. I also want to hear from you. If you got any deets to spill to me in regards to what are some facets about some of these choreographic choices that really make them stand out in a way that I most likely missed, I would love to just be a listening ear and just soak up all of this information, because I think one element I really am enjoying about Stage Fighter is the fact that there's so much saturation in the vocabulary that is being used. They're not shortcutting that whatsoever, at least on the ballet side, which I highly commend. Fantastic word bank recap for myself. And so I'm hoping that they extend the same courtesy to contemporary as well as Korean dance, because your girl wants to learn all about it. So if you want in on the action, I have it all on Patreon. A lot of times with the episodes, they're going to be free for members until probably the show concludes, and then they'll all get locked up to paid. So if you want in as it's happening, go head over there and enjoy it. But yeah, you guys know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.